Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I've got winders and rewinds on my rack, so hopefully I will be bingoing. If my opponent changes, I will place the W on a double letter square. Great. Winders and rewinds still play. I've also got a double-double lane to consider in row E. Can't see a double-double there. Now, adore takes an E after it. So I can play winders and adored. I'm just wondering if I have a bingo through the A of adore. Can't see one. So I will play, well, probably not much between these choices. They vary in the floaters they provide and also access to the triple word squares in row H. Winders 71. Well, that bingo run ends. Nothing good here. UI would sort the vowel problems out. And it's a shame I don't have any 5-letter plays, so I don't have access to either of the triple word squares I've opened in row H. UI would leave GIE, which is not a bad leave. Can't see anywhere great to play UI. So I could play it here to take out bingo floaters rather, with the R and the S, and also access to this triple word square. GOE is the rack leave. 9, terrible score. Through an R, I would have over long. No R available. Well, this is a balanced rack, and I've got the V for score. So I should have options. Now, what about Von Goalie? Is that good? I think it is. Does it play anywhere? Von Goalie. Can't see anywhere at the moment. Maybe my opponent will oblige, and I have some doubt over that. But if it's not good, I'm confusing it with something similar. 34 points for my opponent. He does not provide anywhere for Von Goalie. It doesn't quite play in column 9, so I'm going to have to forget about that. Now, where can I play my V? I could play Vol at J2. Just 20 points. Or I could play Gloved in row E, getting rid of the G as well. And also removing some floaters, which, since I'm slightly ahead, is a good thing to do. Gloved 22. And one advantage over Vol is that Vol would open up this double-double lane, and even if it wasn't used as a double-double lane, it would be a useful double word square underneath AWE, whereas Gloved doesn't provide anything as juicy. Well, lots of bingo-y tiles, but I don't think there's a bingo here. And I'm going to struggle to score. 32 points for my opponent. He's on a good run, and he's now just 7 points behind. One of my N's can go after poor, and an A can go after AI. So I could play tuner across here. That gets rid of the duplicate N and the U. And I'm using the P and W for score. And it's a consonant heavy Rackley, which is good with some synergy. 20 points. Through an E, I would have Sin Deton. No E's available at the moment. But I do have an S now for going after XI. So I could play Stony. 34 points. That's worth considering, especially as both blanks are unplayed. And it's taking out a hotspot. At the moment, I'm only 10 points ahead. So if my opponent has an S, he could score 40 or 50 down here. Now, I think Donzi is good, and this is going to score slightly more than Stony. Donzi, 43. And that's a good pickup. I'm going to be close to a bingo with this rack. Very few floaters on the board. It's a tight board, but I have a 50-point lead, so that's fine by me. The A of adored is not really available for a floater. As a floater, only as part of a 9-letter word, including the D of Donzi. I've got the US combination to look at in column 11. Can't see anything there. 22 points for my opponent. No new floaters opened up. Row K is a bingo lane for bingos beginning with S. I don't think this makes a 7-letter bingo. I think Intazi used to be good, but isn't anymore. But it's a very good rack. If I played off just the I would have an excellent 6-letter set. But this board is very non-bingo-y, so I could have a bingo next go and have nowhere to play it. Have I overlooked any bingo lanes? Well, I don't think I have. This is a tight board for scoring on, so I think if I play PI down here, I'm not providing my opponent with any opportunities, and he may open up a new bingo lane. Only 8 points. I have Ratlins. Nowhere to play it. So that was not a good pickup for me. And my opponent has opened up a bingo lane, column 14. But Ratlins doesn't play in that spot. But my opponent has slowed down in his scoring. And I'm wondering if Ratlins has an anagram. I don't think it does. Certainly not one beginning with S. Just looking around in case there are any obscure floaters I've overlooked. I don't think so. I'm thinking of playing my S off. I'm playing in column K. Sorry, row K. I play Lins across here. The score is 32, and this is why I'm doing it. It's a non-bingo-y board, so I don't really want to play one more tile for less than 10 points when I've got 32 points available. And I'm not really opening up anything down here. I'm taking out the row K bingo lane for bingos beginning with S. I am opening up column 1 because Linz takes a B, but not too many bingos have a B in them, and one of the Bs has been played. And the rack lead was good, ART. I've got unwater on my rack, and more importantly, I've got the blank. Can't see any other bingos, and I've got the WU combination, which is particularly unbingo-y. Out where is good, and I can play that in column 14, out where and low. Great, that stays available. 27 points for my opponent, that's good. A good score for him. Just wondering if I've got any other bingos, in particular any bingos which play in row M, because out where is going to place an R right next to this triple word square. Uni takes a T after it, I've got a T. I can't see anything apart from out where and unwater which doesn't play. This is going to open the board up. It's also going to give me a good lead. Out where, 73. Through an S, I would have cam seen. No S's available. If my opponent doesn't take out the triple word square at the bottom right, I've got hark, or mark, or merk. But he probably will. And he doesn't. I was going to say I had lack LAKH down here. Great. So can I place my K on this double letter square and play off one of the other high scoring tiles? Don't think so. So I think hark is going to score the most. I don't mind keeping 2 E's. I don't mind keeping 2 E's generally, but especially I know there are only 3 out there, so I'm not going to get into too much trouble by keeping 2 of them. Hark for 45 is a great score, and I think the M is a slightly better tile to keep than the H. Probably not much between them. Oh, I'm missing something better down here. Just looking in column 15 in case there's a better play, but I don't think so. Okay, that's not too bad. I've still got the M for score. Slightly too many vowels. Great, only 28 for my opponent. I've now got a 100-point lead, and the board is pretty tight. The top half of the board is locked down in terms of bingos, and the bottom half of the board is not particularly bingo friendly. There is row N, but that's going to open up row O, and there's row K, but the T's got to be in a very precise position. So what to do? I've got 10 minutes on my clock. My opponent's got 15, 14 tiles in the bag. It would be good to play off a lot of tiles to expedite the end of the game and increase my chances of drawing the remaining blank. So I could play meint across here, sorting out all the duplicates. Score won't be great, but I am taking out a bingo lane. Now I'm keeping 2 vowels, but look at the vowel situation. Only 5 vowels left out of 19, so it's good to keep 2 vowels. But 14 points, that's not very good. Yeah, I think I can do better than that. If I played met, because there are 3 T's left, 25 points, that's a better score, and I'm keeping more vowels. I draw one more eye, so this isn't great, but I have a scoring tile in the H, and I'm over 100 points ahead. So my opponent's in trouble. Takes nothing after it. Right, that was the only bingo lane. There goes the blank. He only gets 64 points. I'm still 50 points ahead, and he's opened up this triple word square. He hasn't opened up this one, because Tice's takes nothing after it, so this is only available for plays beginning LO. So this column isn't particularly hot. Now, what have I got across here? I'd certainly like to place my H here. It would be nice to play off an I. 4 tiles in the bag, so I'd like to play off 3 of them. And I think the only way I can do that is hen, keeping 3 I's. But look, there's only 1 vowel left, and there's the Q. So if I draw the Q, the I is quite useful. So I really just need to play off 3 tiles, take out this spot, score well. 35 points does precisely that. I'm just pausing in case I've got a play running across here. And I could play HIE for 31 points. And why that might be better is because with this rack leave, when I draw 3 tiles, leaving 1 in the bag, my opponent will draw the last tile, so this will be the last set of 7 tiles I have. And I'm going to struggle to go out in 2 if I keep 3 I's. So if I just take this back and play HIE across here, it's slightly fewer points, but I have a greater chance of going out in 2. Well, a grim pickup. My opponent is able to play the Q. Has he provided an opportunity for me to play down onto this V, placing my I here for a big score? So it'd have to be a play which is something IV. And I don't have such a play. I could play low buy down here. But I'm really looking now to see if I can go out in 2. I think the game is won. I'm 68 points ahead. But it would be good to go out in 2. Well, I don't know if I can use this to good effect. I've noticed my B is available for blinds, so do I have a play beginning BLO? What a shame, I don't. There's no point in playing block because my opponent's got the S. So I'm going to struggle to go out in 2 here. Maybe it may be worth keeping the B for that blinds and block play. This is quite a tough rack. I could play fag across here. I think I'm not going to be able to go out in 2. It may not be possible on this board. So I'm thinking about playing fag for 13. Not very good. Well, I'm sure there are better plays available. But since the game is won, I don't see too much point in dwelling on that move. That's the sort of move in a tournament where you probably would run the clock down. 24 points for my opponent. He's now played off his S. He's got M and R. He can play Rem and Mo. Does he have a second out? He's got R and M. I don't think so, so I need to block here. I can do that with Bien. And that's keeping CI for Sig. Do I have a... and loci. So Bien for 14 is fine. I don't think my opponent can go out, but it is possible that I've overlooked somewhere for him. It's not going to cost me the game. 18 for loci, 12 for Sig. I'm just looking around for other spots for CI. Haven't seen anything. Well, there's Sig in column 9 as well, for not many points. My opponent's got 14 minutes left, I've got 3. He plays me for 5 points, leaving loci free, and he hasn't provided anywhere for a bigger score. Loci 18. Just wait for my opponent to end the game, which he does. And the final score, 340 to my opponent, 426 to me. A winning margin of 86 points. So a big, big win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go fast. He played Adore, and I had a bingo, winders or rewinds. Disowner also playable for fewer points. My opponent's rack, he has the blank. Does he have a bingo? He doesn't, but he does have Abrasax as a double-double in column 11. But that's burning his blank, but probably worth doing so. He played Bar for 15. This was my rack. And I could have played Goody for 16. I played Uoi for 9. Probably, well, not a huge amount between those plays. My opponent's rack, he plays Zai, and this is where I had Von Goalie, but nowhere to play it, or so I thought. Longevous, wow, A11, Longevous. What a fabulous bingo that would have been. Not a word I knew. Longevous. Well, I didn't see that. Now, what did I do? I played Gloved for a dismal 22 in comparison to the 76 that was on offer. My opponent played Jap, and this was my rack. A whole bunch of plays in the 20s. And Tuna just scrapes into the 20s. My opponent's rack, he plays Roof, and I played Donzi for 43, which looks fine. This looks pretty bingo-y, but there was none. My opponent played Paved, and this was my rack. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here. And this is where I played PI, and I suspect these plays would have been better. Well, except that all the K1 plays are opening up column 1. So it would be better to have a play beginning at K2 or K3. I suspect Ins for 30 was the play there. Pi for 8 was just too much of a point sacrifice. This was my opponent's rack. He didn't have a bingo. He played Axil, and I had Ratlins, but nowhere to play it. And this is where I did take out this row K spot with Lins for 32, and that looks fine. My opponent's rack, he had Oceloid at I14. Fortunately for me, he didn't spot that. He played Loci for 27. And I had Outwear for 73, which was the only bingo. My opponent's rack, he plays Oi, and that left the bottom right available for me to play Hark for 45, and that looks best. My opponent's rack, he played G's, and this was my rack. And I played Men, and that looks fine. And although there is a vowel heavy rack leave, the bag was very consonant heavy, so that was fine. My opponent's rack, he had stouter, which was a good spot, and this was my rack. The game was won at this stage. I was 50 points ahead, and I had a 30-point plays available, and I played high for 31, and I think that's best. My opponent's rack, yeah, he played his cue at this point for 14, and this is where I suspect I didn't make the best play. A14, Feist down here. It's keeping Bing, and then I would have Bingo down here. So that does provide me the chance of going out in 2. My opponent may have blocked Bingo, but I've also got Bing and Ag, so this was the out in 2 I was looking for. Feist for 18, a good score, and then 2 unblockable outs. I didn't spot those. I played Fag. My opponent played Dents. And now I played Bien for 14 to block my opponent going out. And he couldn't go out, leaving me free to play Loci for 18 and win the game. So pretty good game, and it was a good example of closing down the board when you're ahead and grinding out the win. And all wins are good and satisfactory, so a ground out win isn't really different in kind from a romping win. And there'll be many occasions when you do grind out wins like this. So I hope you found this video useful and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.